water crosses across all cells very freely, right? So if the osmolarity of the extracellular fluid changes, so does water volume. So different organisms have different ways of dealing with this. You can either regulate which we just already said, like we do, right? So we are terrestrial osmoregulators, just like dogs. Dogs are cuter than us. So here's a picture of dogs. Osmoregulators. Different species have different ways of dealing with this problem of dealing with fluid and electrolyte balance. All organisms that osmoregulate have some way of transporting stuff across the cells. So osmoregulation is the ability to maintain homeostasis with respect to water and electrolyte balance. There are other species, so jellyfish, that are osmoconformers. So they conform to their external environment. Let's actually look at them quick. So here are what's called a marine osmoconformer. Compared to the external environment, what are the tissues of this jellyfish? If it's a conformer, it's going to conform to the outside environment. The outside environment is very salty, right? This is a marine organism. These tissues of these organisms have the same concentration of solutes outside as inside. So that's isoosmotic. It's not necessarily the same solutes, just like with humans. But we are going to have these organisms living in water and have a way of, they just conform to their environment and have, I think it's actually like 1,200 milliosmoles in the ocean. So their cells are going to be 1,200 milliosmoles inside those cells. It's very different than inside our cells, which are what? 300 milliosmoles. This is very energy efficient, but we don't have to be pumping things out all the time. And so they typically expend less energy pumping solutes out to regulate. Regulation takes energy. In contrast, there are marine osmoregulators. So these are in the water, right? These are most marine vertebrates, bony fish. They are going to maintain a lower blood osmolarity than the ocean. So the ocean water is still about 1,200. These guys are going to be less than that. Let's say, I don't actually know, 300 to 500. I'm kind of guessing there, milliosmoles. They maintain a low blood osmolarity by drinking water and pumping out electrolytes. Does that make sense? That's what they need to do. Take in water, pump out extra electrolytes so that they don't have high osmolarity inside their cells. This requires energy. So they're gonna excrete a concentrated urine. This is similar to what we do as terrestrial osmoregulators. So the last picture of non-humans here is, did I do this already? So compared to the environment, these tissues are what? Hypoosmotic. Hypo, hyper, iso, gotta know those. Lower is hypoosmotic. Okay, last picture of non-humans, the cutest ones. Terrestrial osmoregulators, just like humans are. These adorable golden retrievers. There is water loss due to evaporation and thermoregulation, panting in dogs, sweating in humans. That's thermoregulation. Constant water loss through that, metabolism. So we have to drink water constantly. Not constantly, but we have to take in water through food and drink. Here, I'll do a water drop. And then we have to retain electrolytes. We're not getting electrolytes from the water. We don't swim in water. So we're taking in electrolytes along with our food and liquids. That means we have to produce a urine that is variable in its osmolarity. So urine is going to contain variable amounts of water electrolytes, and wastes. And we want to be able to regulate our urine production to be very, very yellow and concentrated potentially, to very, very large amounts of urine and very dilute if necessary, depending on our environmental conditions. Let's see. So in order to do this, this is what this looks like in terms of regulation of water input and output. Input, point here is mostly it's drinking, some food too, so ingestion, right? Most of what we take in the body is going to be through deliberate, although sometimes it's our hypothalamus telling us we're thirsty, right? We're taking that in. Output of water, there is, like I said, some sweat, metabolism that's going to result in water loss, but urine is 60% of our water loss. The osmolarity of urine can vary between 100 and 1200 milliosmoles. So we can regulate output, and that's a useful thing. We want to be able to regulate this depending on what our input is, depending on what our sweat loss is, how much, We do have, there's also volume. So volume and osmolarity of urine can be regulated. Let me tell you one story. There was once a person who did a Great Uintas Pee Race. This is a competition where you drink as much water as you can. Really, the goal is to pee as many times as you can in 24 hours. Number of pees in 24 hours. There's been other cases of this actually resulting in death. Luckily, this person, Dr. Robin, did not die. Not close, but she did drink a lot of water and peed a lot. What's going to happen? You're going to actually flush out your electrolytes. Your body cannot, you're going beyond what your body can maintain homeostatically. This is called hyponatremia. I will come back to this when we are ready to look at it even more in detail. Hyponatremia, this is low sodium in the blood.